How difficult is George to work with as a director?
Yeah, it's all, you have to be ready to direct yourself.
That's true.
And that's what you learn in acting class, is how to be sort of director-proof.
Director-proof is what we call that.
So when you're directing yourself, you are director-proof.
I don't even listen to me. I don't even pay attention to a single note I give myself.
Schickelgruber. That's what Moa was called.
I had a bigger part in this one than I've had for a while, and so that wore me down a little bit.
We're gonna need your knowledge and we're gonna need your skill.
It helps to have Grant there because, you know, your tendency is to just do a couple of takes and go, oh, it's fine. And Grant's watching the monitor and he'll look over and go, do another take, you know. So it's very helpful to have Grant sitting around. Acting and directing is somewhat cheating everyone in a way, because you're saying to another actor while you're acting with them, I'm going to tell you how to act, which is something you're not supposed to do. So you have to have a nice conversation with them beforehand, apologizing for what I'm about to do.
So everybody knows what's going to happen. I'm going to do a shot of all of us sort of hammering these cases together, and underneath that we'll hear. So now we know it's not random, it's systematic. Every single one of those paintings is a masterpiece. We're all headed to the town of Siegen in Germany.
All right, here we go.
John, you get all that? Yes.
I only get to work with George as a director, thank God.
What he does, his acting is pretty easy, you know. He does it pretty effortlessly. He makes it look effortless, let's put it that way.
He's a great actor's director, obviously, because of his background. He's very open to everyone's suggestions and thoughts. Well, why don't you take Sam from Newark with you, and I'll head up for my old stomping ground, Bruges. There's a Madonna there I used to see when I was young.
He's given us all great opportunities to do what we do best.
Looks like we're gonna be together, buddy.
Just keep rolling, we'll go around our time.
Okay, still rolling.
I don't think it's the easiest thing to direct a movie of this scale. I mean, there are tremendously huge things happening every few days.
Hey, Diablo, take one.
We have days with thousands of extras on the set. We were driving through this thing, and the villagers are waving, and the women are coming up and kissing Bill, and I'm smoking my cigar and having a great time. It was like being in the middle of the real war. I mean, it was spectacular. The sets, the amount of people, the attention to detail.
I'm going to have the troops here, so it's much more interesting to go through than to go through.
Let's start moving them forward.
Most directors that I've worked with, you know, even some really good ones, could get pretty lost in here. Thousands of close-ups of the crowd. You could do 20 million different things. And that scene took about an hour and 10 minutes. It was like, okay, we did that, let's move on.
All the soldiers, let's go. Happy days. Well done, everybody.
George also cuts in camera, which very few directors do. What that means is you're not shooting and shooting and shooting coverage of scenes.
We don't need this with them pulling out rocks. We're going to do a reverse of us looking in the hole, and then we're inside.
He's already made a decision, essentially, of how he's going to edit the scene.
What do you got?
Yeah, the vicar gave us the town of Merkers. He said they might have stored some pieces there.
Merkers?
Yeah, Merkers. M-E-R-K-E-R-S.
Got it.
Grant and I do so much prep work. We're ready for them when they get in there, and that makes it for a place that's much more fun.
George and Grant love to make movies. They know what they do, and George is one of the best directors I've ever worked with.
It's George's and Grant's inherent buoyancy as storytellers that make it unique.
There's a lot of George's innate sensibility in this movie, which I think is great for it.
I think George and Grant have been extremely cautious, or extremely careful, to be respectful to the material, to the memory of these men and women.
This is about these guys who had a special mission at the end of World War II. It's a buddy movie, and it's a heist movie, and it's a war movie.
So it's really well balanced. George did a great job of balancing it.
We didn't want it to be a civics lesson. We wanted it to be fun, because the truth of the matter is these guys pulled it off.
Ultimately, it's a movie about people who are willing to sacrifice everything to save what is the very best of us, of humanity.
When you write, you're imagining all these scenes and all these things, and you hope that you realize it. This one, I actually think we realized more than we had hoped for.
It's basically where we thought it would be when we started.
Background action! And action.